What do you like at sewing? You know, I've missed this.
What?
Reading together. We always used to do this on a Sunday afternoon. Very restful.
All right, where is it?
Where's what?
My Adrian Mole.
Why do you want it?
I want to read it.
But you've read it 6 times.
I don't care, I want to read it again.
You must know it by heart.
It's my book, it was on my shelf, and I want it.
But you've read it 6 times.
That doesn't mean she can take it without asking.
You take it without asking?
Yes.
You shouldn't have done that. Why didn't you ask?
Because he'd have said no.
Well, not if you've asked in a reasonable manner. Now ask him, go on.
Matthew, may I borrow your book?
No. It's my book, and she turns the corners down.
All right, I'll buy you a new copy.
When?
Tomorrow, in hardback, right?
No, I want that one.
All right, Julie, if he's going to be petty, give him the book.
And what about my Bruce Springsteen?
What about her Bruce Springsteen?
That's mine.
You mean you took it?
You swapped it for my grey sweater.
No, I didn't. You gave me that sweater because it was too small.
No, I didn't.
All right, he can give you the Bruce Springsteen and you can return the sweater.
Oh, yeah, now it's got a hole in the sleeve.
There was a hole before.
No, there wasn't.
Look, I'm getting tired of this. If you're not prepared to accept the return of the sweater so that she can have her Bruce Springsteen, give it a rest.
What about my book?
Give him the book.
Certainly. And you can forget about the Bruce Springsteen.
Good girl.
Just let me have the £5.
What, £5?
The £5 I loaned you, remember? You signed an IOU.
Have you got it with you?
No.
Then you can't prove it.
Wait a minute. If she says you owe her £5, you shouldn't have to prove it.
Oh, that's right. Take her word against mine.
She doesn't lie, Matthew.
I see, and I suppose I do.
Do you owe her £5?
I might.
I see. Well, for a little peace and quiet, I will pay Julie the £5 and replace the Bruce Springsteen, and I'll get you a new sweater. Right?
Right.
Glad that's settled.
Except for the book.
Give him the book.
I want that book.
Leave her alone, Matthew.
That's right.
Matthew.
Little darling.
Rat bag!
Creep.
Pig face!
Cow.
Don't you call your sister that.
Oh, that's right. You kicked her. Ah, she just kicked me.
No, she didn't. She kicked me.
Don't you smack her. Oh, well, if I want
You
to.
were... Oh!
I knew you'd do that. You shouldn't hit people on the head. You could damage the brain.
What brain?
Matthew.
Having a quiet Sunday afternoon.
Matthew.
Don't talk to me.
I'm sorry.
It's too late. You've made a mark.
You've been rubbing it.
You lost your temper.
Well, I just hate to see you two fighting. She is your sister.
Don't care.
It should mean something.
Well, it doesn't.
Look, it's perfectly normal for a brother and sister to bicker and squabble. Perfectly normal. But deep down, I mean really deep down, don't you feel something for her?
Really deep down.
Yeah.
No.
Well, then you should. I'll tell you something. I always wanted a sister.
You can have mine.
When I was your age, I wanted a sister like Julie. Someone I could look out for, someone to protect, to be proud of.
You were proud of her, all right. When we were out together in the pram, who was always held up to be admired? She was.
She was a pretty baby.
I know, and I was the ugly brother. Surprised you didn't take me out with a bag over my head.
No, you weren't ugly. This sort of nondescript.
Whose fault was that? I was neglected. She always had the top off the milk, I didn't. Even her orange juice was stronger than mine. I know, I tasted it. It's a wonder I grew up at all. I was starved of affection.
No, you weren't.
Even when we went on the train, she had to have the seat by the window. I never got the seat by the window.
Well, that's not important now. What is important is that you're related. That means something.
You were related to Mother, and look what happened.
But only by marriage. I had no more in common with your mother than the woman I stand next to at the bus queue.
Which woman's that?
Doesn't matter which woman. I'm talking biologically. I had no relationship with your mother.
That's not what I heard.
I mean, we weren't related by blood.
Well, I don't like any of our relatives. I prefer friends. You can choose your friends.
Matthew, how many times have I told you? Friends can let you down. It's a harsh world. One day you'll be in trouble.
Will I?
Perhaps divorce, drink, drugs, even on the run.
Oh, you've got a lot of confidence in me, haven't you?
Your friends will melt away. You'll have no one to turn to but your sister. That's when you'll need her.
Yeah, and I suppose when she's in trouble, she'll need me. Say, divorce, drink, drugs, with child. That's when she can come to me.
Well, yes. Well, that's hardly likely to happen, is it?
Why not?
Well, she's not that type of person.
But I am. You take it outside again, you always do. And don't come up here saying you're sorry because you're not.
Of course I'm sorry. I've just broken an original recording of Grieg's piano concerto. Matthew!
Mr. Willows.
Enid, do you have a brother?
Yes.
Are you fond of him?
Fond of him?
Yes, I mean deep down. Really deep down. Are you fond of him?
Really deep down?
Yeah.
No, I can't stand him. I mean, I'd do anything for him, but that's not the same, is it? I've never forgiven him for a certain act of greed.
Greed?
When Father died, he went straight to the garden shed and walked off with his lawnmower. He pushed it 5 miles home. I've never forgiven him for that. And then there was the silver.
Did you want something, Enid?
Oh, yes, I forgot to tell you. Your ex rang. She's out of her mind with worry. Apparently, Julie left without a word. They didn't know where she'd gone. They've even had the police out looking for her. Never thought she'd come here. They were thinking of dragging the canal.
What? Julie?
Would you like me to stay?
No.
Yes, Dumpling.
Never mind about the dumpling.
What's the matter?
Apparently your mother didn't know you were here. She's been worried sick.
I don't care.
Well, that's not very considerate, is it?
Well, she's not very considerate.
Well, what's happened?
We had a row.
What about?
I wanted to go on the pill.
Yeah, well, that's no reason to... At your age?
All right, there's no need to shout. After all, it's my body.
Your body. You've only just got it.
I don't see what all the fuss is about. They're all on it at school.
All? Come on. There must be one or two still holding out.
I knew you wouldn't understand.
But you're too young, Julie. What's the urgency? You haven't... You're not...
No, I'm not. I haven't been, but...
But you're thinking about it.
No.
Then why?
Well, you wear a seatbelt, but it doesn't mean you're going to have an accident.
No. They say you drive faster. You've only got one body, Julie. It's important to you. One day could be important to someone else. So when the time comes, just make sure it's not a physical wreck.
When the time comes. Didn't you ever have desires when you were my age?
Oh, yes, I had desires. And they were usually frustrated. Hasn't done me any harm.
That's a matter of opinion.
Yeah, well, all right. But I know one thing. You always have to pay the price in this world. There's a price for everything. If you know the price, and you're prepared to pay it, that's fine. But until then, forget about the pill. If you're ever in that situation, take a glass of water.
Does that work?
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean, before or after?
No, instead of. I want you to phone your mother and apologise.
What for?
For scaring her half to death.
I certainly won't.
You will, and that's an order.
Take your hands off me!
Come on, I mean it. Oh! That's the second time you've done that. Right. I am going to do something I should have done years ago. Come on. On my knee.
What do you think you're doing? me.
All right, leave this to me, sis.
Sis?
You can't hit her.
What do you mean? I'm a father.
That's no excuse. You haven't seen her in 7 years. It wouldn't stand up in a court of law. In fact, you're in a very tenuous legal position. Look more like an unprovoked attack to me.
She kicked me.
Well, you could have reasoned with her. There's no need to resort to violence. It's no sooner the word than the blow with you.
He hasn't changed.
You don't need to tell me that. Get your things, sis. I'll take you to the station.
Sis? Did you see her to the train?
Yeah,
She all right?
yeah. Oh, and she says she forgives you.
Oh, that's a relief.
And she's sorry she kicked you.
So, what's that you're reading?
You mean this?
Yeah, looks very official.
It's your will. I just happened to come across it in the trunk.
You've been in my trunk?
Yeah. And all I want to say is, thanks, Dad.
What for?
For treating us all equally. You've been fair and I appreciate it. It was never the money, I was never interested in that. It was the principle. Just to know you cared for me as much as the others.
Of course.
By the way, it isn't witnessed. I get that scene to if I were you, just in case.